City booster. Clean order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call column. Here. Luke.
Here.
Hines.
Here.
Snyder.
Here.
Garmin.
Here.
Amstutz. Here. Council received the proposed minutes from the meeting on May 18th. Any amendments?
I believe I made the motion to accept Henry's proposal to repair the culvert. I think it says Nick made the motion. I think, if I read it correctly. I forget who seconded it.
All right, I can correct those.
Okay, that amendment. Any others? Noting the amendment by Councilperson Hines. Minutes stand as approved. Takes us to public speaks. Ms. Tolson.
I'm just here to observe, thank you.
Mr. Tolson.
Same.
All right. Mr. Morrison. Okay. Trevor's here. We had asked him to come in, have a short talk, we being fiscal officer, myself, solicitor, and the chief. Talked a little bit, but be gracious enough to stay on if council has any questions. A quick update. There was an issue with the programming, so the warnings are starting on the 8th. Right, Trevor?
Correct.
The 8th. So June 8th, warnings start, 30-day period still remains. July 8th, tickets start. So if council has any questions for Trevor, you're more than welcome to ask those. Alright. Anything else for public speaks? Perfect. Appreciate you, Trevor.
All set?
Yeah, we're all set.
All right.
I think we're all good. You're gonna get in touch with me about the Canton discussion.
Yes.
Okay.
And when and if, assuming council adopts the corrections.
Yeah.
Just have it scanned over to me.
Yeah, we will get that to you. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Chief, good to see you. Thanks.
So council was aware, at the last meeting, we did have a citizen bring up that page 2 of the document was missing on the website document, basically showing the ordinance. And then that same resident also pointed out there was typos on page 11, 2 of them. So council will be considering a new ordinance to repeal and replace that when we get to judicial, but I just wanted to make it noted based on the public speak section from the last council meeting that there was actions taken. If council so deems to take up this new ordinance and it's passed, we'll present that to Trevor to get it updated on the website. So that should take care of that issue. All right, takes us into committee reports. Service.
The roads, we put new flag posts up and flags on Route 44 going north. From the Fultz catch basin repair in front of the fire station. We're letting that set up to dry and we're gonna top that off tomorrow. Catch basin in front of PD has been replaced. We're working on filling potholes around town. We have made several hot patch repairs with a couple more to go. Trimmed some trees that were overhanging on the roadways. Underwater, the metrics for the village has been turned into the EPA. We topsoiled and seeded water break on Wood Street North. Topsoiled and seeded water break on East Nassau. I'd like to touch base again with the water raise, 2%. We're gonna have to address that here sooner or later. We're going to move forward with that or not. I know there's some discussion on some topics, so I don't know if we want to have a work session or however you guys want to do that. We're gonna have to handle that pretty soon here.
Just so council's aware, you have the standing ordinance where that 2% goes into effect unless you take action not to. So basically what Administrator Boyle is saying is that if you don't want the 2% to go into effect, you have to take action. Otherwise, he has to instruct the water clerk to pass along that 2% increase.
That's effective July? That 2%?
No, actually, it should be in effect now.
It should be in effect now, yeah.
It should have went
Yeah.
into effect with last billing. Because it's supposed to be in effect when Canton increases theirs.
So the Canton increase was passed along, but the 2% for the
It's not been yet on our
Yeah,
end.
on our end, yes.
We waived that the last 2 times, I believe, so I think maybe we're about due.
I'm not telling council what to do. I'm just telling you, if you don't act, then that will have to go into effect.
That's my thought on the matter.
Yeah, I think we.
So no objections moving forward then? Okay.
Yeah, we can split. What do you mean? 1%. Whatever inflation was.
They should be about 4%.
If our thing's 2, then that, to me, that's split.
Like I said, we waived it the last 2 times, so things haven't gotten any cheaper since then.
Just so council's aware, the EPA does monitor this, right? And they say, look, are you passing along increases to help cover the upkeep, the maintenance on your system? So I'm not telling council how to act. I'm just telling you that it is something that's monitored, not only locally, but also by the EPA when they come in and look at the system, look at how it's funded and all of those things. So,
Well, if you choose anything other than a 2%, you're gonna have to draft an ordinance saying that you change it.
Maybe it's simple just to leave it at 2.
I'm comfortable too.
Think about changing it to something different later.
This comes around annually,
Yes, every year.
Yep.
every year.
Mhm.
Well, it's something for us to consider if we want to do something bigger or smaller next time around. At least we'll have those funds available.
Sounds like I'll move forward with that then. All right. So also under roads, let me backtrack for a second. I am getting quotes on speed tables. I'm gonna get quotes in 3 different areas, one on Liberty, one on Noble, and one on Orchard. I'll bring them forward to you as council and let you choose one of the 3, or if anybody tonight has any more ideas, I'd gladly quote that out also and bring that to you so we can discuss where we want to put these.
We're at on it.
Probably just after Otter. We have to have an open field. We can't have it in front of the driveway or close to a driveway or close to an alleyway or close to a road. It has to be so many feet away from the road, so many feet away from the driveway. Another thing we need to watch is service lines. So if you have a service line that runs under the road and you put the concrete over top of it, and you have a leaky service line, now you're tearing your $15,000 to
I have
$17,000.
noticed a lot more traffic. They think they're gonna cut through there, so they don't have to go through there, where the cameras are. I've noticed it, maybe tripled.
It's happening on several roads. Orchard's one, Liberty's one. There's also some people on Renowski in 3rd area back there. They're saying that.
Yep, we've been writing a
More
lot of
traffic
tickets on
there.
side roads.
Yeah.
So.
Where on Noble would you put it?
So the burger's split between Noble and Nassau. It would be west of that, going towards Dollar General.
Okay,
In between Dollar General's property and Burger, there's a nice open field on both sides.
that's a good idea because people go past the sign and they fly,
Like I
they
said,
hit the gas.
I'm very open for any ideas where you guys want to put them, and I'll get them quoted. But as of right now, those are the 3 that I have in my mind I want to get quoted. If there's any other areas you want quoted, feel free to let me know. I'll get them quoted. He's coming in tomorrow morning though to do it at 7, so give us quotes.
Well, we got 2 of them last year,
Correct.
so we can get another 2 this year. That'd be great.
And I'll get several different areas quoted, and once you as council decide where you guys want to place these. Because the one on Liberty is going to be
That's the
decent
most
size.
important,
It's going to be
yeah.
huge.
The Liberties, people are just bypassing Church and Walnut, and they're hitting Liberty just like we thought they would last year. So I would ask that council consider that one first priority, because I believe it is an issue.
And it will be the most costly just because the road's so wide. I mean, but. So is there any other roads at Orchard, Liberty, and Noble? Is there anything else you would like to see quoted? Okay, I'll stick with them three then. So under zoning, one of the zoning violations submitted has been taken care of. So that's off the list. The other two still do have a little bit of time. I've been in contact with one of the other two, so that one of them at least will be done, should be done on time. I had a little trouble with the other one, but I'll take care of it. The other one of council's concerns was a possible zoning violation. That's in the process of being resolved now. The lady's doing a real nice job of doing what she needs to do. Under other, we did attend the BWC meeting. So if there's any questions or concerns?
I have a question
Yes, sir.
about the P trails. Did they do the catch basin?
Yes.
One?
Yeah, the one out front of PD.
Okay. You did the other one.
The other one up by the fire station, yes. Yeah, that was a rebuild. But after last meeting, we did stay up here and watch. We feel comfortable with doing it after watching the bill. We feel comfortable. We'll be able to do the next ones. That was we're gonna be doing this one down here, yeah. That's not a catch basin rebuild, though. That's more of a culvert. The culvert's falling apart outside the catch basin, so we'll have to dig that out, replace the culvert going into the catch basin. We've done that before, so it's not a big issue, but we're good with that now. We watched, and that was a 3-pipe coming into that one. It's a pretty rough one. They're out there. It was about 6 to 8 hours it took them. Any other questions or concerns? I did quote hot boxes. The pull behind's around 26,000. They do make bed inserts, which I don't personally like because we're putting in a 1-ton, I guess, F-350 truck. And then when they drop that stuff out of the machine over there, they don't drop a full ton sometimes all the way. They'll drop spurts of it. But that is a long way up dropping into a bed of a pickup truck. It's a lot of wear and tear on that truck. So
Ties up your truck for doing other things too.
well, it does. I mean, it is easy to take in and out. I noticed too on the pull behinds, there is shovel areas. My concern was you got to get right over the hole, or you dump the stuff out on the ground, shovel it in, we're looking at them, you dump it out onto like a platform, and you shove it off the back of the back and get it put in. It is a $26,000 investment. My personal opinion is I think that with the hot patching we do, we don't hot patch every hole. We do hot patch like bigger holes than one we did on Liberty, one on Orchard's dead end. The road was kind of collapsing away. We did some hot patching up 2-ton over there. Some corners where we're going to do a Poplar and Shady Side. We're going to be hot mix there. We only try to use that cold patch just for smaller holes. I think we can invest that $26,000 to $30,000. That's almost half of a mini. And I think that's what we need to shoot for our water breaks is the mini. Now that's just my personal opinion. I'm gladly do anything council would like me to do. If they want to convert over to hot patching every single pothole, that's fine. But I mean, I just think we can invest it into the mini.
Is that just for the box? Because you need a trailer to put that on, don't you?
That's the trailer and all the 26, between 26 and
So
30,000.
that's
I
everything.
mean, I mean,
Trailer, the box.
there's a lot of add-ons. You can get a tilt trailer. You can get a lot of different things, lights add-on, arrow add-ons. So roughly around 26 to 30,000 get a good start on that. And that's with the tilt, because I did want the tilt to clean it out good.
No, you probably need a mini first.
I would agree with that too. A lot more you can do with that.
Mhm.
We just want to put it in front of council to get your thoughts.
Absolutely.
Just based on the costing. I mean, we're going to follow the direction of council, but
100%.
it is a pretty sizable investment, so.
And we're okay. We like the hot patching we've done. If we get 2-ton at a time, we're okay as long as we're not running all over town. Like if we have a decent job, like on a corner of a road or a big pothole we cut out or something like that, we're okay with that. But I mean, by the time we start running around, that's when it gets cold and hard. But we do use hot patch for a lot of the bigger stuff. Like I'm not super happy about the cold patch out here, but that's what we had at the time. and we didn't have nowhere to put the hot patch at that time, so that might be something we dig up when we do our next hot patch load, come over and redo that.
Is that hot patch that you used to repair the potholes between Noble and Third Street a couple weeks ago?
No, we have not done no hot patch. It's all cold patch.
That's cold patch
Yep.
that you used?
It works pretty nice. It does not work in deep holes or big holes. Like the one we did on Liberty would have never worked there. They got it just mushed out. Just like you can see out here, if you go out here by the PD, it's nice when they back straight over, they turn the wheel and it does.
When you use that hot patch, do you try and make your
Pattern.
route so that you don't
Yes.
waste any?
Yeah. We do that.
There's a hole on Walnut after the hump, after the speed tape.
Yeah, we went around town on the last rainy day and wrote every single pothole from the size of a 50-cent piece down. And we've been trying to fill potholes, plus we're trying to catch them on catch basins. So last week they did do a lot of potholes, and we started our catch basins this week. And we did put some signs over at the park for handicap parking, 2 up by the tennis courts, 2 down by the bathrooms.
Has ODOT let you know when they're gonna start the repair?
They have not let me know when they're gonna start. They give me a deadline. They gotta have it done, the contractor. So it's not ODOT doing it, it's the contractor. They got till October to complete it. So no due date, but there is some things that I want them to take care of down here on the corner of Plum. There's a catch basin that you've noticed driving by, cones wrapped around it.
That
They've
hump-
said they're gonna repair that. And that's
That
gonna be a
hump-
big repair.
That humpy thing up on Nassau is getting humpier.
That should be cut out too. They'll be doing that. So they're coming all the way into town here and turn up Cedar in front of Village Hall here and then turn down Walnut and go out to Osnaburg Road. They're also going in addition from last year's talk with me and the mayor and several other people in front of Church of God up just past Browning. They're going to do that for us because we did invest a lot of money last year to get that fixed. So they're going to do that too. So that's part of that project. No, I do not have a completion date. October is when they're supposed to be done, but I don't know when they're starting.
Anything else for Henry?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
when you asked for public speaking, I'm sorry, I missed you. Am I still liable to speak?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Moore. I thought you said you didn't have anything. You're just observing. Yeah, you're free to speak.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Bob Morrison. I've met several of you, not all of you. I'm the commander of the American Legion Post here in East Canton. As you know, recently we had a Memorial Day parade. And I'm not here to lecture on the American Legion Post and how long it's been around this community. Many of our fathers here, myself, grandfathers, Mr. Garden, are members of that. World War II veterans that built the post, eventually dedicated the land to the full center that we now consider the pillar of the community. I'm not here to lecture about everything that the American Legion Post does for the community, for the school, for the sporting people in this community, for the veterans in this community. And I'm not here to bitch and complain about what happened with the route of the Memorial Day Parade, though I was very disappointed about the fact that it did not honor our veterans the way I think it should have and gone by the cemeteries that we have here in town to honor our veterans. But what I'm here to do is to ask City Council, Mayor, Police Chief, to be open-minded to look at what we can do next year, okay, in moving forward to do something that better honors our veterans in this town. It was kind of a short notice that we got with the route change. It was like 3 weeks before the parade, I believe, that we were notified of the route change. It didn't give us much time to make changes. I was disappointed that we didn't get the funding from City Council to increase the security to go past the veterans cemeteries. But I'm hoping that we can look forward and work together to come up with a plan that is better for next year. And that's all I'm asking for. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
you, sir. That'll take us to safety. Chief?
All right. I believe Sergeant Crouch sent out packets to you guys of our calls. This past 2 week period, we responded to 307 calls for service. It was a total of 730 calls for service for the month. Issued 57 traffic citations, made 5 arrests. We also participated in the OVI task force. Again, we had 11 stops off of that and issued 12 citations. Been trying to enforce traffic laws, but more on the side streets. That's been our focus for the past couple weeks with the cameras up. That seems to be where we're getting most of our citations currently. So the speed tables definitely would be helpful. Thank you also to the service department for assisting us with barricades and shutting down roads for the Memorial Day parade. Without their help, probably wouldn't have been able to do what we did. So thank you. As you guys may have heard, we had a critical incident on Saturday. We had Louisville Police Department as well as the Alliance SWAT team assist us. We were able to bring it to a peaceful resolution with their assistance. And outside of that, that's about all that I have for you guys. Do you have any questions?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Is that gentleman any risk to the community?
I believe it's isolated. I believe it was an isolated incident. So alcohol played a factor. So, but he is currently incarcerated and Stark County
He's
Jail.
in trouble since young age.
Is that a designated apartment over there? Or is he renting a room?
No, it's an
In a
apartment.
house.
It's in a duplex
Okay.
upstairs, downstairs.
And he's been there a while and this is the first incident,
We've had some calls for service there in the past.
but nothing as drastic as over the weekend?
There have been some that have, from my understanding, been close. I haven't confirmed that, but I have heard that the SWAT team had been called out before. So
Several years ago, there was an incident. Of course, this gentleman is innocent until proven guilty. I don't want to name him or run it, let the case take its course, so to speak, through the court system. But yes, there was a separate incident that was described as a misunderstanding, if I remember correctly. But this would be the second incident where SWAT was involved, from what I understand.
Has he lived there a long time?
I don't know as far as tenure at the address.
Nothing really in our business.
Yeah, I try not to get. I just know that it was the same address before. I just don't know how long the gentleman's been there, but yeah, he's like all of us. He's due his day in court, and I'm confident that the process will be fair, and we'll see how it plays out.
absolutely.
Did the residents that have to be evacuated, were they pretty thankful? Did any of them complain? I mean, was it easy?
It was a fairly easy process. We designated the laundromat, since it's open 24/7 and its shelter, as an emergency relocation center. And I had EMS staged down there in case there was a medical emergency. They were displaced probably about 2.5, 3 hours.
I'll be on his list. Why are there 2 people to 1 cruiser?
Because we are training right now. Also, our cruisers are down. That's something else we're going to have to start looking at in the near future, is ordering another cruiser. The Tahoe, obviously, the Crown Vic are on their last leg. I've put money into them to try to get them ready for the parade. However, we had to replace the alternator in the Tahoe. Still working through some computer issues, trying to get the computer up and running, so that car still can't be used for patrol until that's done. So right now we've got the Dodge and the Ford, and but the 2 officers are in the 1 car because they're training right now. So,
I think we still 3 officers in training at the moment.
I believe Russ Van Arsdale, and I think 2 right now.
2.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Good news is the newer officers that have been brought on are, in my opinion, Chief correct me if I'm wrong, performing well.
yes, they are performing very well.
Running traffic very well. They're very active. So I think the training that you're given, the FTO training that you're given is very thorough.
So we've basically we've compiled an FTO book. Safety committee's kind of seen it. But basically, the state puts out recommendations for what they want to see in a field training program for officers. We've taken that, we've compiled it, tailored it to us, and it seems to be working out very well. So it gives us some tangible, measurable, basically tangible, measurable instances that we can take on here. They get what's called a DOR every day. It's a daily observation report. So they get in real time how they're performing for everything that they do. Everything that they do while they're in training gets put into their field training manual. And when they're released, we get a copy, they get a copy to refer back to. So not only can they function in Stark County as far as what it takes to book people into jail and do their job, but also it gives us a metric to make sure that they're performing up to the standards that we require them to. Any other questions?
Very good.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Takes us to judicial.
Okay, this is ordinance number 2026-11. An ordinance to repeal and replace ordinance number 2025-12 and declaring the same to be an emergency. So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Salute.
Yeah.
Hines.
Yay.
Schneider.
Yeah.
Garmin. Amstutz.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Salute.
Yeah.
Hines.
Yay.
Schneider.
Yeah.
Garmin.
Yeah.
Amstutz.
Ordinance number 2026-11 by title only. An ordinance to repeal and replace ordinance number 2025-12 and declaring the same to be an emergency. So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Salute.
Yeah.
Hines.
Yay.
Schneider.
Yeah.
Garmin. Amstutz.
I believe that's it for judicial.
To confirm what's already been discussed at council, this was ordinance to replace the ordinance from 2025 to deal with the legislative authority and whatnot with the traffic cameras. The only change from the ordinance in 2025 was the misspelling on page 11. There were two misspellings. Those were replaced. I believe it mentioned Village of Worcester twice, and Worcester was replaced with East Canton. That was the only change to the other ordinance. So I just want to put that on the record. All right, judicial being done. Anything for grants?
Yes. As you may or may not know, the federal government is only going to grant us $800,000 for our water project. The original total for the plan that we laid out was $1,600,000. Now, in the original grant that left them actually giving us $1,200,000, and we would have to match a quarter of that with $400,000. That would give us our $1,600,000. But since they're only giving us $800,000, then that's going to change how much we need to come up with if we're going to do the full project. Ms. Riggs seems to think that if we scale back the project, they may decide to scale back the amount of money they give us. So trying to keep that 3/4 to 1/4 ratio with what they're going to give us means that $800,000 is 3/4 of $1,066,600. which means in this instance, our match would be $266,600. That's still gonna bring us up short for what the total for the project's gonna be. The difference between this total that I just gave you and the original is $533,300. And if you add the match for this 800,000, that gives us a total of $800,000, which just means that they're going to give us 800,000, and we need to come up with 800,000 to do our $1,600,000 project. Ms. Riggs seems to think that they're not going to pay for the entire thing, so it's not like we can just say, okay, give us the $800,000 and we'll make do what we can. I believe she believes that ratio still needs to be maintained. So if we do need to scale that back, we need to figure out a way to do that so that it comes in at about $1,066,000. Now, from what Henry has said, the pipes on the east side of the tower are probably the worst and need to be replaced. And then the rest of it was supposed to be used for the entirety of Worley Street. If we do need to scale it back, we may only be able to do, let's say, half of Worley Street.
No.
Nope.
No.
Well, those determinations, we're going to have to talk with you and see about.
Well, I think that's when we quoted the project at, when we had.
You didn't quote anything on Worley.
Yeah, no.
It was a no.
Oh, no. Yeah, pardon me, I was wrong about that. Yeah, the pipes behind, on the east side of the tower and all of Noble Street. So let's say if we do end up having to scale something back, maybe we can only do half of Noble Street.
Wasn't
So
there a third part of it?
There's three.
I thought there was three.
There's three phases we were looking
Yeah,
at.
3 phases, but with this, but what we turned in to the EPA, or to the grant, sorry,
Right,
was all Noble in the east side of the tower because it was cast on the east side of the tower. When they were doing Center Street, they found out to the east side of the tower that was cast because it continued to crack, so they had to extend that out a little bit. So that was definitely come up on my priority list to make sure we get that done between the tower and Belleville. Then we were gonna start at Summit and come east on Noble all the way over to Browning where it dead ends. And I think Mr. Blues was saying what we're gonna have to do is once we do that east part of the tower, we're gonna have to determine where we wanna
How
cut this
far down
project off from
Noble
Summit
we-
down, or do we wanna
we
start
go.
at Browning and come down? That's something we'll just have to discuss when we get to that point.
right. Now, if we can come up with this 800,000 match difference, then the project just goes on as normal. But the thing is any time along this, unless some money goes into a bank account or to a vendor, it can go south and then we got a problem. So I would like to come up with a plan B if we need to scale something back. So before the next meeting, at some point, I would like to get together with Kurt, the mayor, Henry, get Mrs. Riggs in here, and anybody else who is interested, and just go over the numbers to make sure that what I'm looking at here is correct. And Ms. Riggs will have a better feel for how the government will react to the things we need to do.
But from what I understand, when you said it could just go away, once the award is announced and it's allocated and it's budgeted, it's there, right? There is no going away at that point, right? As long as we meet our obligations, I don't see how.
Our obligations, I think, is the variable in this, because let's say we can't come up with the match.
Yeah.
Well, they're only gonna give us, I think, what we can match up to.
Yeah, I think, yeah,
Yeah, but if they're gonna give 800,000,
Yeah.
then our match would be two.
230 or whatever it is, yeah.
Right.
I think if we were able, before, if we were talking about if we have to come up with the 400,000 or whatever, whether we take it in a loan or whatever it may be,
Right,
if we were, I think council and everyone's committed to doing that. I think, I don't want to speak for council, but I think you all are probably, if you were committed at 400, you'd probably be committed at 230.
Right.
Is that fair?
Mhm.
So I think you bring up a good point, Councilman Blue, is that we have to define what the project is for a total amount of 1.03,
Yeah, 1 million. Yeah,
whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I think we got to get Hammond Tree in, right? And start talking about it and see what that looks like. What falls in that budget.
Right.
Kirk, correct me wrong if you feel differently, but I think once the award's there, the award's there. It doesn't, yeah.
What are the parameters we need to clarify? What's coming out of our pocket?
Well, I think, and I haven't even seen the grant paperwork and stuff, but the way I understood it, whatever they give us, we have to come up with 25% is our match, which I just did some quick, it's $266,000.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I came up with too.
Mayor, you had mentioned at one point that Malvern paid for their water project. They came up with all the money.
They had a lot of grants and stuff. Yeah, they used a lot of support. I think it was probably about 3 or 4 years ago when they did theirs. They did a big project.
Maybe we can bring their mayor in at a work session or something and get some ideas of how they did that.
Yeah,
If you think it'd be beneficial, if not.
Now.
yeah. I mean, I think they did do it in, I don't want to call them phases because these are independent projects of each other. So it's important that, I used the phrase phase earlier. And I'd like to just correct that and say these are independent projects, but they're projects that are all focused on the same water system. So when I call them independent, we could do the first project we're proposing and then skip the second one and do the third one. So they're not
They're not dependent on each
Yeah,
other.
yeah. I just wanted to point that out, but I think Malvern relied heavily on grants, and I don't have the article in front of me, but I think they did also take some loans for their portions. I don't have that in front of me though, so it's been a few years since I looked at it.
So we're basically doing the same thing,
I think
grants
so,
and
yeah.
possibly reaching out to individuals for.
I think what they took advantage of, like I said, I could be wrong, I don't want to misspeak, but I think that that was during the COVID period as well. So maybe there was additional funding that maybe isn't available right now.
Yeah.
I'd have to look at it though. It's like I said, it's been about 3 or 4 years since
It's
that.
the same thing, we
It's
do
the
the
same
same
thing we
thing with
do,
our
so-
water tower.
Yeah.
They just put it in the lines, we put it into our water.
Yeah, I think it's like 6 million total. That was a big project for them. So
So that's what I would like to do between now and the next meeting is get some folks together and come up with a plan B if need be.
I think we just got to define if all of council's invited, we need to mark it as a work session and open to the public. If you're just going to keep it at Henry and the engineer and
Well, I'm sure everybody will have some weight to put onto it too, so.
I think you need to talk to the engineer first.
Yeah.
He gets with Henry and you find out this is the most important area and then we go from there. What I think don't matter. I mean,
it's up to you, Councilman Baloo. If you want to, I agree with Councilman Collins that we pull the engineer and say, hey, this is what we're going to have money wise.
Okay.
You tell us how far this gets us.
I'll just send Josh
Yeah.
an email. I'll tell him to scale it back to
Right.
$1.1 million and see where it gets.
See where it gets us to.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we can review it after that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I can send a simple email and save everybody a
Yeah.
lot of trouble.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, that's all I have for grants right now.
All right, it takes us to finance.
Finance, I just want to clarify this Dave's asphalt for 23,810. Is that for work they already did or work they're going to do?
It's already done.
It's done. So are we done with the paving project for the,
Yes, passing project and the paving project, 2 separate projects, they've been done for this year. So,
we're done?
I did get a quote, just so you know, I doubt I'll be able to do this year, but I got a quote on this parking lot out back where it's been gravel for a long time. All the way from the alley down to the building and about 8 foot out into the road past the sidewalk. It was 17,000 and some change to get it all done. He's supposed to email that over to me, but that'd be the only other thing that I would have this year. That would be it.
I make a motion to pay invoices in the amount of $33,265.11.
Second.
Roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Baloo.
Yeah.
Hines.
Yeah.
Snyder.
Yay.
Carmen.
Yeah.
Amstutz.
Yeah. We don't have payroll tonight.
Nope. You actually voted on the one we normally do last week because I got it done in time, and I didn't have a chance to get this week's done because of Trevor and everything, so I'll do it after you're in here.
So Officer Geist did present council with the permanent appropriations report through 6/3. Kurt, could you possibly send that report off to Police Chief Hartloff and Administrator Boyle?
Mhm.
Anything else for finance? All right, takes us to other. I have presented the Mayor's Court report for May 2026. Total collected $7,651, which breaks down as follows: $3,100 in fines, $3,059 in local costs, and $1,492 in state costs. Any questions on that report?
Looks like it's up a little.
Yeah, it's, as I mentioned, the PD has already written about 140 traffic citations for this year, which is a very healthy number. It shows that they are enforcing the traffic laws. In comparison, last year, where I think we finished right around 200. Part of that was due to staffing shortages at the beginning of 2025. But they have been working very hard. As Chief mentioned, they've been on the side roads, really trying to slow people down. We're seeing people going over 40 miles an hour on 25-mile-an-hour streets. So I think that just reinforces what our residents have been telling us about these residential roads and the need for us to get these things under control. So good work to the PD.
What makes people drive from Louisville to East Canton in the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit doing 42 and 45 and then come into East Canton and keep doing 45?
Yeah, I think it's hard to tell what the motivation of some are or why they drive the way they do. It's just, for us, it's important that we keep the streets safe for our residents. So that's the focus.
Yeah, they can't go fast, they can't go the speed limit, but
Yeah,
then they keep going
Then they
over
go
the speed limit.
Yeah. I would ask that council, Mr. Morrison requested that council consider the parade route for next year. So I'm asking either the Recreation Committee headed by Councilman Garmin or the Safety Committee headed by Councilman Amstutz to work with the Legion, Mr. Morrison, and the Chief of Police, Chief Hartloff, to start planning for next year to see if you come up with a compromise that works. I'll leave it up to council to decide which committee would take that on. I pointed out recreation because of the parade. I pointed out safety because of the PD. So it's up to you.
Only thing about it, we don't got no one up here yelling at us this year that it wasn't safe.
You're absolutely correct. Last year we had several residents that were very upset because of cars driving through the parade. We didn't have that this year. We secured the parade much better. I do understand the concerns about not the parade route not going by the cemeteries. I respect that, and I respect the other people's points on that. But I do want to stress that the village will also always take safety as the #1 priority. So we can look at the parade route for next year, but if it's deemed unsafe, it's just not something that we can allow. So, but I would encourage us to start looking at what the options are. I know.
It'd be very easy. The 3 cemeteries are on the south side of town.
Mhm.
So if we could work with Mount Tabor Church, start the parade there, go down those roads over there past the cemeteries, come up by the CNB Body Shop. I'm sorry, it's always going to be that to me. And just go across that one street. You could block traffic for a very short amount of time, go across and go up Noble and at the Fold Center.
Well, the problem is we'd have to shut down 172, and then we'd have to shut down 44. But then you'd have 30 still coming in from this side wide open. So you're gonna have people flowing in this way with nowhere to go. So then they're gonna start cutting down the side roads. What I would recommend is if the number one priority is going by the cemeteries, that we stay on the south side of the village and don't go. You have to give up one or the other. Either it has to be the Fold Center doesn't have the coverage, or the cemeteries, because we can't. The days of us being able to safely shut down the entire village with the current resources that we have, those are gone. I know people mentioned before, I've seen some comments that, well, we used to do it all the time.
Times are changing.
Times are changing, drivers are not the same. Last year, we had residents point out that drivers were literally driving through the parade.
I mean, it still almost happened again this year.
Yeah.
So we had roadblocks up and
Yeah.
officers at almost every, and there were people driving around the roadblocks, getting out and moving them.
A lady came up Orchard all the way
Me, I had to turn around.
and,
Yeah.
and had to turn her around. I mean, it was blocked out.
So either funding has to be increased significantly, and we're talking having to hire additional folks in with vehicles and everything, or we just gotta get creative with our routes. I will say that the PD did offer to the Legion to support, whether it's some kind of event at the cemetery beforehand. PD said, look, we can help you with parking for that or whatnot before the parade. But I believe it was communicated to us that there were no taps available, or there was no honor guard. Color guard available to do any kind of ceremony at the cemetery before the parade. So we tried to offer it as like a separate solution for that.
Was the parade smaller this year? I mean, is it getting, because I know, why didn't the band march all the way through?
They weren't conditioned.
We communicated to the school, and we're appreciative that the band took part in it. But we were told that the route was too long and that it was not, that the length of the route was, that the kids, it wasn't safe for them to walk the entire route because of,
Don't they march in the Hall of Fame parade?
they said that the Hall of Fame parade is shorter than ours.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm
No.
That's what
quiet.
was, we had meetings about it.
They performed at the Cedar Point the next day or so.
And like I said, I'm appreciative that they did take part, because, you know, there was some communication ahead. I mean, we talked about it a lot, and they did participate. And for the spot that they did, I heard that they did really well, and I'm very thankful for that. But what we were told that they did not want to go up the hill at Worley because of the length, and that'd be too strenuous.
And the 77-year-old people walked in the parade.
It wasn't my decision. I'm just sharing what was told to me and to the chief, and Henry, you were there as well. That's what we were told.
Any control
Yeah.
over it, so.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
It is what it, unfortunately, it is what it is. But I do, like I said again, I am thankful that they did participate to the length that they did.
Thank you.
But if council would be so willing, one of the committees to take up that topic with the Legion.
I can work with
Okay.
the chief too.
I
But
do.
I don't know that talking about it right now.
No.
Maybe closer, like maybe in 6 months or something,
Right.
bring it up and start, you know.
And I'm fine with that, it's just as long as we keep it on the radar.
Sure.
Because, you know,
Sure.
I respect other people's opinions, but I will say, just reiterate, you know, my responsibility, chief's responsibility is the safety of our residents. So we're not going to sit back and say, yeah, we're going to approve a route unless we're sure that we're doing everything in our power to ensure the safety of our kids
Mhm.
and residents. I just want to stress.
Positive is nobody came to complain. I didn't see a lot on social media.
Yeah.
Didn't hear anything,
No, it's good.
so it's good.
It was good. It was much safer. So I'm very thankful for the efforts. Chief, thank you to your team. Henry, thank you to your team. You all did a great job.
Almost gotta be something we can come up with.
Yeah, some kind of solution, right?
Cause then, I mean, last year, we were down there at the Plum and Nassau, when you shut 30 off, I don't wanna be that cop that day. He was
Yeah.
just
Officer Wydrow is the one at 44 in Georgetown last year, and she almost got ran over.
Yeah,
Yep.
that wasn't,
Yeah, she almost got ran over. And-
No, I'm just talking about like,
Yeah.
you know, in town.
Right.
'Cause, you know, you're that first car that gets stopped way before the parade ever even gets there.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's cutting across both, so you gotta keep it clear,
Mhm.
you know?
Well, and the problem that we had, it wasn't just, I mean, we're shutting down 3 state routes and having to cross over a set of railroad tracks, which is in and of itself.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, you get these semi drivers there just ticked, and then cars are coming down beside it, peeling out up, cause man,
Yeah,
like it's just,
okay.
but I think we got plenty of time to try
Yeah,
to
we
come
do.
up with something.
All right, so Councilman Amstutz will take lead on that with the PD and the Legion. Okay. All right, anything else for other?
I have the response to Councilman Below at the last meeting. You asked about whether or not there's any blanket prohibition against village officials or public officials asking for donations or soliciting donations from private individuals or businesses. The answer is no, there's not a blanket prohibition. You're allowed to do it. Any village official is allowed to do it as long as they keep in mind what you already know from taking the ethics class, such as revised code 102.03, which is prohibition on accepting anything of value that is of such a character as to manifest a substantial and improper influence with respect to your duties. So if it makes you vote one way because somebody donated, you can't do it. That would be improper. It has to truly be voluntary. It can't be, you know, the police is going to be looking real close over here if you don't give some money. So it has to be voluntary. Obviously, these are things you already know. Can't involve any personal or improper gain. So it can't be something that benefits you, a business that you have an ownership interest, or your spouse or other immediate family member, and things like that. But general answer, no, there's no blanket prohibition. You're able to do it. Just keep the ethics guidelines in mind.
Okay, my way of doing that would most likely be just information. Hey, we have a need. If you can help, great.
Yeah.
Basically. So,
Perfect.
okay.
That's all I have.
Solicitor Beck, I'm going to be reaching out to you for just some guidance with the traffic cameras. We talked about the warnings being started on the 8th, 1 week from today, tickets beginning on July 8th. I'd like to reach out to the legislature just to inform them because I think it would be prudent just to give them a heads up, hey, we're starting this program, and to say, hey, you're probably going to get some complaints from constituents saying that Village of East Canton is running this. So just maybe give some background on the speed camera program so that when these citations start, that they're not blindsided. So any support you can give for that would be appreciated.
Yep, happy to.
Anything else for other? We get a motion.
So moved.
Roll call. Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
Hines.
Yay.
Snyder.
Yeah.
Garmin. Amstutz.